continuing our theme, extreme leadership, selfless, courageous influence that inspires lasting greatness in others. This is our third session. We started out talking about how important it is to equip ourselves. Now, then we move to how important it is to equip others through our stories, the lessons that we've learned by the things that we've been through. I hope you've taken the time to reflect and get the learnings out of your life lessons so that you can equip others and help others. Powerful way to do that. Now, this third session, I want to talk to us about the power of questions. My friend and mentor, John Maxwell, just recently wrote a book called Good Leaders Ask Great Questions. And I tell you what, as a leader, for me, it is so easy for me to give information, teach what I think someone needs to know and what someone needs to hear. And I often miss the power of a question. But over the last 4 years, I have really seen the value of questions in a powerful way. And I think this is missed in leadership. And to become an extreme leader, the way that we're talking about extreme leadership, the power of questions is just huge. And I want to spend this session talking about how important good questions are. I can remember early on my journey. I'll tell you this. I remember the first time I personally met John Maxwell. It was in 2001 or 2, and I was at an event. And I was in way over my head. I was the only construction guy there. And I can remember it was a 2-day event, and I didn't ask anything. I did not ask one question. I was learning a lot, but I was afraid to ask a question. Honestly, I didn't even know. I didn't even have really the ability to ask a good question, and I kind of recognized that in myself. And I thought, well, don't need to make a fool out of myself. But I know that I missed opportunity because I wasn't even mature enough to ask good questions. And since that time, I've really matured and I've really developed my ability to ask good questions. And it's been a journey. And I want to challenge you to take this journey. The ability to ask good questions. There's a couple things that we're going to need in order to ask good questions. First of all, we need a level of humility. If you're arrogant, think you know it all, you're not going to ask questions. Second thing, we need to be teachable. That goes right in with that. We need a teachable attitude. This whole program is all about learning. It's about personal growth. It's about being teachable, to learn what we don't know so that we can get where we need to go. I want to ask you this question. Has there ever been a time in your life where you messed up and you look back and you think, well, if you would have just asked the right question to the right person at the right time, you could have gained the knowledge, been prepared, been equipped to not mess up. I know that's been so true for me. But because I wasn't teachable, because I didn't have a humble attitude, I was too arrogant. I didn't ask the question. And I don't want you to do that. And I want you to think about, what questions can you ask to prepare yourself so that you can be equipped to do the right thing. The other thing I think is important in asking good questions is this realization that we have to give up being right all the time and looking right. So the surrender, really, of being right will allow us to be able to ask questions and gain knowledge so that we can equip others. The challenge question is this: how often do you ask good questions for the purpose of equipping others? Because there'll be times in our lives that we need to ask questions to prepare ourselves from making a mistake. But then I want to challenge you to ask other people questions, because questions can equip. One of the things that I've learned over the last 4 years in my coaching training is the power of questions. When we ask the right questions at the right time, it equips people to get the answer that they need for themselves. As leaders, it's too often that we give the answer, but that really doesn't stick. If you'll notice this whole program, It's all about questions. It's about the discussion. It's about you coming to the realization. It's far less about these videos that I'm doing. It's a whole lot more about the reflective thinking that you're doing in answering the questions. So hopefully you've been able to see the power of questions. And now I want you to take that same power and use it to equip the people around you. As leaders, ask the right questions, because in that process, the person on the other end of the question is going to be able to think, reflect, and you're going to give them the power to equip themselves. It's amazing how much knowledge and information we have in us. Our brains, our minds, they're a warehouse. And good questions help us bring out and realize what's in that warehouse. Often, we have what we need in order to accomplish what we need to accomplish. We just haven't thought about it the right way. And questions can help us think about things that we need to be thinking about. So it's a most powerful tool to help equip. So when we're thinking about equipping ourselves, equipping others, use the power of great questions.